in this photograph?
Yeah, so when you walk out of that hallway, you go down another hallway, and there was what was described to me as the master bedroom. When you walked in, that was the bed that was in the bedroom, and there was an open gun box with a
box of ammunition were found on November the 30th, 2021.
Correct.
Okay. And that's on the master bedroom?
Yes.
Bed?
Yes.
This is exhibit 191. This is the same master bedroom. Another bedroom. This is of the nightstand?
Correct.
This is 192, the same room?
Yes.
Again, 193, this is also the same room?
Correct.
And 194, what are we looking at here?
So when you walk into the bedroom, immediately to the right of the door.
The master bedroom?
Yeah, the master bedroom was an armoire.
Okay. 195, this is the same armoire with a slightly different perception?
Correct.
196, is this still the room?
Yep, so that would be the door that would lead out to the backyard, and then a TV stand with various drawers and things in it.
Okay. And were these drawers eventually searched?
They were.
197, same TV stand?
Correct.
198, this is the same room, just a different angle?
Yep.
199, again, same master bedroom?
Correct.
Okay, this is exhibit 200. Sir, just so we're clear, moving back to exhibit 197. These drawers were searched?
Correct.
Okay. Were you actually directed where to go to?
I was.
Okay. Who directed you?
James Crumbley.
Okay. And so specific to the, if we're looking at this photograph, the right drawer, I'm sorry, not drawer, you tell me, which area did you find what was located here in exhibit 200?
Yeah, so when you're looking at that picture, to the right door there, you open that up, and there was two shelving, shelves on it, and the gun safe was on the top shelf.
And who told you where to look for that?
James Crumbley did.
Okay. And that's already been admitted into evidence, and that has a locking mechanism on it?
It does.
Okay, were you told what the combination is?
I was.
Objection. Your Honor, just irrelevant to Jennifer's case, unless the information came from her.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry, what James would say is hearsay to this officer, so I would object for that reason.
isn't it?
Judge, it's relevant because the firearm was found in the defendant's home, shared home,
Okay,
and it
But that-
shows how the officer opened the case and recovered other weapons in the trial.
Your Honor,
okay,
the
but what he
objection.
said is hearsay. So you had a conversation with James Crumbley,
Yeah.
and then you found that case and opened it.
Correct.
And Judge, I'm sorry, she also testified, or she also said in her statement to the officer yesterday, Joe Bryan, in the interview that was admitted as evidence, that she knew where the firearm was found. And later on today,
Your Honor, she did not say that.
like,
She did not say that in the video. Or she did not talk about these firearms.
Sergeant Peski is going to testify later on today. We're going to admit an in-car video where Jennifer's recordings will be admitted as an exhibit, and she's asked specifically about this.
And Your Honor, I would ask that the jury wait until then because I disagree with the prosecution's description of what that evidence will show.
Okay, but he already testified they had a conversation with James Crumbley, and they went to this location, and that he then opened that safe.
Yes.
Isn't that sufficient?
That's, well, how did he open the safe is important. I mean, did you have to crack open the safe?
I did not.
Okay, so you were given the code to open the safe?
Correct.
Okay, and were things recovered from that safe?
Yes.
Okay, so without having to crack open the safe to recover the items, you learned how to open it?
I did.
Okay, and then how did you open the safe?
Your Honor, I object to him saying what the code was because Jennifer Knowledge had no awareness of the code, and that's what the prosecution is hoping to slip in here as hearsay that James told this officer.
He said he had a conversation with James, and then he opened the safe. He didn't say that Jennifer gave him the code,
Okay,
right?
yeah,
Right?
true.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right, so you talked to James Crumbley, and he gave you the code for the safe?
He did.
Okay, and tell us how you got in the safe.
By using the code that he gave me.
And what was it?
It was 000.
Okay, and that's the default code for that case?
Correct.
All right. Exhibit 200, okay. Now this is 201. We're looking at the same drawer here. I keep calling it a drawer. It's better called a shelf, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's
Okay.
more of a shelf.
Okay, so we have this case that's been admitted in evidence, and then it looks like an article of clothing. And then underneath that, what did you find?
It was a holster, which is on the right there, and then 2 magazines, and there was a baggie of bullets in the back. I can't really see it there.
Okay. And this is 202. All right. You see 2 magazines and a baggie of bullets. That wasn't on the shelf when you walked into the bedroom, right? So that's what you pulled out of there?
Yeah, so that was at that point it had been removed from the shelf and it was placed into the bag, and the magazine was placed on the top of the TV stand there.
So this is 203. Again, this is the locking case. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so tell us what was found in the locking case.
So I located a .22 Kel-Tec handgun and then a .22 Derringer. The Kel-Tec's the black handgun and the Derringer is the silver handgun with the brown handle on it and some ear protection.
So this is what it appeared, and this is what it looked like when you opened the case initially.
Yes.
Okay. Here's 204. What is this?
That's the .22 Derringer.
It's just a closer room. We already have that in evidence. 205 is the same firearm, just from a different angle.
Correct.
Okay, 210. What are we looking at?
That's the .22 Kel-Tec that we recovered from the safe.
At 211, this is a close-up view of the Derringer.
Correct.
Okay, 212, and we're going back to one of the shooter's bedrooms. We saw that Packer's helmet in a different photograph. This is a close-up view of the nightstand.
Correct.
Okay, and what are we looking at here?
Those would be spent shell casings from fired from a weapon.
Okay, and that's the condition in which you observed it on November the 30th, 2021?
Correct.
I'm sorry, is that 212 or 213? 212.
That's 212, so I think we just have a 213 is slightly similar picture. All right, 216. This isn't a real firearm, is it?
No, there's I believe it was a BB or Pelican. It wasn't a.
But that's where it was found in the shooter's bedroom on November the 30th, 2021.
Yeah, on the computer chair in the shooter's bedroom.
Okay, 217, just a slightly different picture. 218. What are we looking at here?
That would be a drawer from the dresser in one of the shooter's bedrooms.
219, same drawer.
Correct.
Okay. The 220. What's this?
It's an empty bottle of whiskey next to one of the shooter's beds.
Okay. Now, judging by the wall color, would that be the same bedroom that the targets were found?
Correct.
Right. And here's 221. This is the same bottle of whiskey, correct? Or empty bottle?
Yeah, it was just at the end of the bed, just sitting on the floor.
Okay. The 222. What is this?
That was a notebook that was recovered from I believe one of the drawers in the bedroom, dresser drawers in the bedroom.
The 223. What is this?
Those are various knives that were found in the bedroom.
Okay. Where were they found?
I believe right on. I think that's on the one of the shelving units in the room.
Okay. So one of the earlier pictures, we saw a wall shelving unit. Would this be a close-up view of that?
Correct.
Okay. This is 231. Now, what's this a picture of?
Yes, this would be that door would be the front door if you were exiting the residence. When you're coming into the residence, to your immediate right was the couch. That TV was on the wall, which was facing the front of the house. So that was a view of the living room.
Okay, so the door that we see in the right-hand side there, that's the front entrance door.
Correct.
Okay. So this is what you would, when you walk into the house, this is what you walk into.
Yes.
Okay. That's 231. This is 232. What's this?
Same thing. When you'd immediately walk into the house, that's what you observe. That's the living room area, the couches. The TV would be just in front of that.
233.
Same thing, just a different view. So this angle would show that hallway, which is observed or straight ahead, would lead directly into the kitchen.
234. This is also the living room.
Yeah, it's the TV stand.
Okay. Okay. 235. What are we looking at here?
So that's the kitchen had an island. Underneath the island, there was various drawers that you could open up or shelving units and stuff. That was a box for the .22 Kel-Tec that was recovered in the master bedroom.
Okay, and that's in evidence as well. 236 is just a different angle view of where that Caltech box was found?
Correct.
Okay, was the Caltech box opened?
It was.
Okay, what was found in there?
When I opened the Caltech box, it was a secured cable lock for a firearm. It was in the packaging still.
So 237 is just the side view of that Caltech box you found?
Correct.
And 238, you said it was still in the packaging. Is this how it was found?
That's how it was found.
In fact, there's still keys in that locking mechanism, is that right?
Yeah, there was the keys were at the end of there, towards the bottom of the lock.
Like where it looks like a black box there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's also in evidence. That's 238. 239, what's this a picture of?
I believe that's a PlayStation unit or a gaming system that was recovered from the residence.
So then things from the Crumbley home, such as video games, receipts as well?
Correct.
The gaming system, okay. So here's 242 with some of those.
Correct.
243 with more.
Correct.
And 244 as well.
Correct.
Okay. Were the vehicles searched as well?
They were.
Okay. What are we looking at here?
That was the back of, I believe that was the gray Kia that was searched in the driveway.
Okay. It's 245. 246, this is the same vehicle, just a different angle of that hatchback.
Correct.
This is 248. Okay, so there's no garage at this home, is that right?
No, there was a, behind the home, or adjacent to the home, it was more like a shed that was behind the house.
Okay. Was there like an overhang type area where a barbecue grill is at?
Yeah.
Okay, so 248, does that depict that?
Yeah, correct.
And what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so those would be BBs for a BB gun.
Which ones are we looking at?
Looks like the plastic container.
Okay.
Yep, and it looks like there's more in the which would be the original plastic container. Some nails. I'm not sure, that looks like that's probably something used to clean the grill next to it.
Okay. So this is now going to be 253. You said there was a shed.
Correct.
Okay, and so the shed was searched as well.
It was.
Okay, so what are we looking at here in Exhibit 253?
So that'd be immediately when you walk into the shed to the right. There was multiple shotgun style BB guns located.
Okay, 253 depicts one of those.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, and here's 254. What is that?
Yeah, same thing. So that was when you walk in, there was in the shed, there was like a tool bench. On the tool bench, visible as another like Uzi style BB gun that was visible on the bench right when you walked in.
Okay. 255, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, same thing. It was another, I believe it was a BB or pellet gun that was also located kind of behind the original picture where the Uzi style gun was, or BB gun was.
256, tell us about this picture.
So that would be when you walk into the shed. It was there were some chairs on the ground. You can see behind it where like the shelving unit is. Yeah, just some chairs where it looks like somebody had been sitting in the shed.
Okay. 268, tell us what we're looking at.
Kind of hard to tell, but you can see the silver in the snow there. It was empty CO2 cartridges.
Were there just one empty CO2 cartridge or multiple?
I believe there's multiple. You can see, it's kind of hard to see, but there's multiple in the snow there.
There's 269, this is a better view.
Yeah, there's multiple in the snow.
Okay. You know what those are used for?
Yeah, for the BB guns or the pellet guns at the inside of the shed.
Okay, now, a second search warrant was executed at 112 East, is that true?
Correct.
Okay, so this is, obviously, what we were looking at before, it was at night, that was the evening of November the 30th, 2021. This is the daytime, so anytime you see daylight, that would be the second search warrant.
Correct.
Is that right? Okay. So is this the front of the house, Exhibit 272?
Yep, correct. That would be the front of the house facing East Street.
Okay, this is 278. This is when you walk into the home, oriented to the left.
Yeah, so you'd walk in to the right of this picture would be where we saw the couches and the TV. This would be to the left. You can see the dining room area, and then kind of straight through that picture would be directly into the kitchen.
Okay. And those boxes, they weren't in the home November the 30th, 2021. Do you know if they were left on the porch, or do you not know?
I'm unaware when those were
Okay.
put in the house.
So here's 279. Is this standing as you walk in, turn to the left?
Yeah, so you walk into the left, and that was kind of like the dining room area with the table and the various Christmas decorations.
Okay. This is 280. What are we looking at here?
Yep, so that would be if you'd be walking through living room with the couches on your right, dining room on the left, and then straight ahead is the kitchen, and where you can see the open door at the end of the very end of the hallway. That's the master bedroom.
Okay. So earlier you testified that the Caltech box was in the kitchen island. Do you see the kitchen island in this picture?
Correct.
Where is it at?
So you can see it with the it's got like the white board on it, like the white board with the top. It looks like there's a binder. The black binder would be the top of the kitchen island.
Okay. So here's 281. Is that the kitchen island we're referring to?
Correct.
All right. Now this is also the kitchen, 282.
Correct.
283, the kitchen as well. This is the refrigerator.
Correct.
284, this is the island as well.
Yeah, so those two open, the two at the bottom of the island there, you can see the two doors. That's where at the bottom of that was a open area where the Caltech gun box was recovered from.
Okay, so on the bottom right of the screen?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. 285, this is also the kitchen.
Correct.
Okay, so the last picture was orange to the left, this would be orange to the right.
Correct. Yeah, on the outside of that would be where the driveway was, the side of the house.
286, what are we looking at here?
Yep, so when you were in the kitchen, I kind of described it earlier, you take a right, and there's a small hallway. At the end of the hallway was that bathroom. To the right was one of the shooter's bedrooms, and immediately across the hallway to the left was the second bedroom.
No, this is 287, what do we see here?
Yep, so that'd be the first bedroom to the right. It had the bigger bed in it from the earlier pictures.
All right. 288. Now, this is after the initial search was executed.
Yeah, this was done the next day, different after the home had already been searched by detectives.
289, this would be identified as the shooter's second bedroom.
Correct.
All right. 290, same bedroom, different view.
Correct.
What do we see to the left of the bed there, the shooter's bedroom?
Are we referring to the stand kind of to the left of the bed there?
On the ground.
Looks like a Gatorade bottle.
Was there a litter box on the ground?
Yeah, a litter box, yeah.
That's 290. 291, this is the same bedroom, now looking towards the closet and the door.
Correct.
There's 293, this is down the hall looking at his, what we refer to as first bedroom.
Yeah, just directly across the hall was the first bedroom.
Okay, 296, this is the room with the boarded window.
Correct.
From the hallway.
Correct.
297, again, this is after the initial search warrant was executed.
Correct.
300, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so this would be if you were standing directly in the kitchen, you look down, there was a small hallway, narrow hallway with a washing machine, drying machine on your left, which you can see, and then walking straight ahead is to the entrance to the master bedroom and the sliding glass door that would lead to the backyard.
In 301, you identified earlier the washer dryer unit, is this what you're referring to?
Correct.
302, what's this?
Yeah, so when you were walking from the original picture, you saw the washer and dryer. To the left of the washer, and prior to getting to the washer and dryer to the left was a small little hallway that was filled with various items. And that was, what you're looking at right there is kind of like the landing leading to the basement.
Okay. We just have a few more to get through. 303, what are we looking at here?
That's the entrance to the master bedroom.
To the master bedroom, okay.
Correct.
304, this is taken in the master bedroom. So the TV stand is to the left of this picture,
Correct.
and that's where the Caltech and Derringer were found?
Yep, you're looking at that TV there. It was in one of the open doors. You can kind of see that door open. On the right side of that was where the safe was found with the weapons in it.
Okay. 305, this is also the master bedroom?
Correct, if you came into the right, it was I believe it was a king-size bed and then a couple end tables next to the bed.
And here's 306, what are we looking at here?
Similar view, to the right was that armoire, which you would see when you walk in to your immediate right when you came into the bedroom. Just a different angle of the bed with the armoire.
And here's 307.
So if you were kind of sitting on the bed, you'd be looking at the TV with the TV stand. That door in the bottom right there that's semi-ajar was where the safe was.
Okay.
With the weapons in it.
And here's 308, what are we looking at?
So 308 would be what I referred to. I believe that's to the landing area that leads to the basement.
Okay,
It's a
here's
different
309.
It's a landing area that leads to the basement.
Here's 316. So we had already looked at the picture of the barbecue grill. You identified that there was no garage but a shed. Where would be the shed in this area here?
Yeah, so this would be where that door of the landing was. You walk out and there was this little area with an overhang with a grill that's visible there. If you were to walk straight past that grill into the yard there, to your left would be the shed.
Okay. And here's 317, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, it's just more of the overhang area there. Kind of adjacent to the side of the house.
On November the 30th, when you first entered the home to secure the home for the search warrant, were you aware if the stove was on or off?
Yeah, I don't
Okay, that's our other officers are here. Nothing further, thank you, Jeff.
Cross.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Initially, when you got to the house, you said other officers had already arrived there, correct?
Correct.
What was happening with Jennifer the first time you saw her?
She was being hailed out of the house by another detective. By hailed, I mean being told to come out of the house.
And at the
She
time,
complied.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, she complied and came out.
She complied and came out. At the time when she was coming out of the house, being hailed out, she was on her cell phone. Is that fair?
So when I got there, I don't recall exactly what she was doing when she came out of the house. I just got there as she was walking out of the house. I don't recall if she was on her cell phone.
While she was walking out of the house, there were guns drawn. Correct?
Correct.
How many police officers had guns drawn towards Jennifer Crumbley as she walked out of the house?
I couldn't say for certain. When I got there, she was already being told to come out of the house. So at the time, I wasn't really focused on who had their guns out. I was focused on watching the house and making sure nobody else came out. So I couldn't say how many people had their weapons drawn.
Would it be fair to say it was more than one gun?
Yeah, correct.
More than three?
Yeah, there was multiple detectives and officers there when I got there. Again, I don't know how many of them had their guns drawn. I know that I had my gun drawn.
You did have yours drawn?
Correct.
And pointed at Mrs. Crumbley?
No, so when I got there, she was already coming out of the house. I was, like I said, I was more focused on, I believe I was near a tree on the side of the house. So at that time, I don't think I had my gun pointed at her now.
After Mrs. Crumbley came out of the house, and she did come out, correct?
Correct.
She was handcuffed.
So I didn't take part in her being taken to the vehicle, so I'm not sure if she was handcuffed.
And that's fine, I'll ask a different witness then. So after you got to the house, you saw her come out, saw the guns drawn. Did you see Jennifer Crumbley any further that day when you were in the house or otherwise?
After we had executed the search warrant, she was brought back into the house with James, and I saw her inside of the house. I didn't have any further communication with her, no.
I just want to be clear about the guns and gun cases, boxes, some of the things we saw on the screen. If you need me to put an exhibit back up, let me know.
Okay.
Okay, so the Sig Sauer 9mm gun, the case for that gun, you saw in the master bedroom, open on the bed, correct?
Correct.
And there was a box of bullets, or an empty box of bullets, next to that empty case, correct?
Correct.
In that case, the gun was not there.
Nope. When I initially came into the house and then we conducted the search warrant, it was an empty box.
And you know, and if you're not the right witness, let me know, that James Crumbley had gone to the house and discovered the Sig Sauer was gone from the house.
Yeah, so when I went to the house, I had no knowledge of anything that had occurred prior to me getting to the house. Like I said, I just observed the box where I saw it initially when I did the search, and then after, I don't know how it was placed there or when it was.
So when you were, I just want to be clear, the Sig Sauer was ultimately not in the Crumbley home.
Correct.
The Kel-Tec and the Derringer were found in the Crumbley home.
Mm.
Is that a yes?
Correct.
They were found in a gun safe.
Correct.
And they were found in the gun safe that was in the cabinet in their bedroom.
Correct.
And there was not ammunition stored with the Kel-Tec or Derringer.
Yeah, so the safe, which we saw the pictures of, had the two firearms and some ear protection. There was ammunition found in that same dresser area behind it.
Okay, but not in the same, not within the the exact location of the safe, correct?
Yeah, it was behind. So I can show you the picture. You can kind of see it in the picture. The picture has the safe, and then behind the safe, there was some clothing, and underneath the safe there was the two magazines. There was the gun holster. Then behind that, you can kind of see a box that did have ammunition. I don't recall what kind of ammunition or how much, but there was some located in the bedroom.
Okay, and that's ammunition that goes with those two guns, not the Sig Sauer.
Yeah, so the ammunition that was the empty box on the bed was 9mm. I mean, to be honest, I don't recall what ammunition was found behind the safe, but there was ammunition found behind the safe.
Okay, and then I just want to be clear about one other thing. So there was a kitchen closet we saw where there was like a blender and some other appliances kind of on the floor. You testified that you found the box to the Kel-Tec in that little kitchen area. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, correct.
And that box while that box was in there was no gun in the box or anything along those lines.
Nope, it was the Kel-Tec box just had that cable lock, which was in the bag. That was all that was in there.
So the three guns that Jennifer Crumbley and James Crumbley had in their home, the three that we've talked about include the Sig Sauer, the Kel-Tec, and the Derringer. It's fair to say there were not any other guns in the home aside from BB guns or pellet guns.
Yeah, so I located the 22 Derringer, the 22 Kel-Tec, and then obviously the firearm, the Sig Sauer, was recovered at the school. And I didn't have any part in the recovery of the actual weapon used.
Well, to me, it looks like they've got a lot of guns, but I can't tell the difference between a BB gun and something else. So I just want to be sure, aside from knowing about the Sig Sauer at the school and the Kel-Tec and the Derringer, all the other guns that we saw in the pictures, those were BB guns or pellet guns.
Correct.
And the casings that we saw on the ground in the snow, those were from BB guns or pellet guns.
Yeah, so the CO2 would be used to operate some of the BB guns that were found in either the shed or the bedroom.
And in the backyard, you could tell that they had shot BB guns there before because there's also targets up, correct?
I recall the BBs that were located. There was the empty CO2 cartridges, which would indicate that they were used. I don't recall specific targets in the backyard, but I do recall the other things there.
And then when you were testifying, there was very brief testimony that there was a litter box. That was in the second bedroom of the Crumbley son, correct?
Yeah, when you'd walk to the right and left was bedrooms. That was the bedroom to the immediate right, and right next to that was the bathroom, and across the hall was the what I think we described as the first bedroom.
And just very quickly, when you were executing the first warrant, the Crumbleys had a dog in the house.
Yeah, there was a dog in the house. I didn't have any dealings with the dog. I believe the uniformed officers went into the house first, and I think the dog was friendly, so we didn't have any issues with the dog.
And then there was a cat and a kitten. Do you recall that? And if you don't, that's okay.
I don't recall the cat and the kitten.
Okay, I have nothing further.
Redirect.
Just briefly. Detective, why did you approach the home with guns drawn?
Yeah, so I mean, again, we didn't have a whole lot of information about what we were going into. I mean, obviously, we had just come from the scene of a shooting. Yeah.
So the information you were given, well, you knew that there was a mass casualty event at Oxford High School.
Correct.
And you found
Your
out,
Honor, I would just object to the leading questions.
just trying to orient the witness to where he was and why.
Okay, question answer, please.
So you had already been at the Oxford High School?
Correct.
And you knew what had happened there?
Your Honor,
Okay.
I would object to the leading.
Well, it didn't, that was a yes or no. Did he already know what had happened at Oxford High School? That would certainly affect whether or not he'd approach a house with his gun drawn, right?
And the assignment to secure 112 East, you told us that you were given an assignment by Lieutenant Hicks?
Correct.
Okay. And at that time, did you know what you were going to find there?
No.
And what information did you have at that point?
That the shooter resided there, and to go to the house and secure the house prior to the search warrant being drafted. There wasn't a whole lot of information given at the time. Everything was kind of quick moving at that moment.
Okay. Well, this is Exhibit 200 on the screen here. You were asked about the .22 ammunition. So in that locking case with the 000 combination, there was no ammunition in that case, correct?
No, there was not.
But you did find ammunition in this same location.
Yeah, so I guess you can't see it, but it was underneath the.
So I'll move
Yeah,
to
you can
201.
kind of see where the two magazines are. There's a box behind it. It's
The
like
gray, red, and black.
Yeah, yep, that's the box to ammunition. I don't recall what specific caliber was recovered, but it was a box with ammunition. It's right behind the holster right there.
Okay. Okay, I have nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
So you can step down and you're excused. Thank you. Who is the next witness going to be?
Sergeant Peski.
Okay, short, long, medium,
Long.
long?
I mean, I don't want to, not short. So if we could take a brief 10-minute break, it might be a good time,
Good.
if the court is so inclined.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so. Okay.
All rise to adjourn.
Could you pull the door toward you, have a step up, have a seat, state your name for the record, and spell your first and last name?
Matthew Peski, Mathew
Thank you, go ahead, prosecute.
All right, good afternoon, Sergeant. Can you tell me, or tell the jury, how long you've been employed by the Oakland County Sheriff's Department?
for 20 years now.
And you are currently a sergeant, correct? And what's the scope of your assignment and duties at this moment?
My assignment and duties at this moment is I'm a detective sergeant in the Special Investigations Unit at the Oakland County Sheriff's Office.
Okay, I want to direct your attention to November 30th of 2021. Do you remember that day?
I do.
Can you recall where you were when you heard about the shooting at the Hoxford High School?
I was at the Pontiac substation.
Okay, and can you tell the jury what you did? How did you hear about it?
My partner at the time, Kevin Thomas, came into my office, told me there was an active shooter at the Oxford High School.
And what did you do?
I grabbed a vest and I got to my car and I left for Oxford High.
Okay, did you lights and sirens as fast as you could? Did you join the caravan or did you?
I went lights. I didn't have sirens at the time.
Okay, and about how long after that did it take you to arrive at the school?
Maybe 20 minutes.
What did you do when you approached the school?
I went in through the entrance by the pool.
What did you observe when you drove into could you get to the parking lot of the school?
I got into the parking lot. I double parked at that point and I went into the school.
Okay, and can you tell the jury about what time that was, if you know?
I don't know.
Were you aware of whether or not the shooter was in custody?
I had heard on the way over the radio that the shooter was in custody.
Okay, at that point, what did you know about injuries or fatalities?
I knew that there had been one or two homicides at that point and injuries. I wasn't sure how many.
Okay, so you said, which entrance did you go into?
I went in by the pool.
And what did you do?
At that point, I located other members of the sheriff's office. There was I did a search of that pool area with a couple other deputies. We went back, reported to command, which was being made at that point. We went back and searched a couple hallways in that pool area again, looking for survivors, witnesses, victims, anything like that.
Okay, did you find any students?
No.
All right. What was your understanding at that point of where the students were?
From what I had heard is a lot of students had ran away from the high school to the Myers, and other students were being escorted out that were still in classrooms by other deputies.
Okay. What you referenced a minute ago about command. Do you recognize this person sitting next to me?
Yes.
And who's that?
It's Lieutenant Willis.
All right, and what was his role there that day?
He was, he became the officer in charge. He was one of the command, reporting command that we go to.
So when you say command, were you finding Lieutenant Willis at that point? Was he instructing you or was somebody else instructing you?
Captain Hill was also there.
Okay, so after you cleared the pool area and another hallway with officers, what did you do next?
At that point, I was advised by command to structure to go to the house and the residence of Ethan and secure it.
We've decided I've asked that we not say his name, so we refer to him in these proceedings as shooter.
Sorry.
That's okay. My fault. I should have explained that to you. You were told by command to go to the residence, and first, were you told whose residence it was and who lives there, or anything about the house?
We were told to go to the shooter's residence, secure it, preserve it for evidence, and there was a search warrant being drafted.
Okay. And did you do that?
Yes.
Do you know if you can recall, how long did it take you to get from Oxford High School to the shooter's residence?
Just a couple minutes, I believe.
Okay, did you go by yourself or with somebody else?
No, I was in my own car,
Okay.
but I went with Deputy Steele, or Detective Steele at the time, Detective Stoyak and Detective McPherson. And I
Okay.
believe there was a marked unit already at the house.
And you were instructed to do what when you got there?
To get any occupants out, secure it, look for if anybody was injured, destruction of evidence, anything like that.
Okay, you mentioned a search warrant. Were you told that there was a search warrant, or they were attempting to get one? What were you
The
told?
search warrant was being drafted. It was not signed yet in order for us to begin our search.
Okay, is this something that you've done frequently in your career?
Yes.
All right, and what do you typically do when you arrive at a residence of any kind and you know there's a search warrant attempted? They're attempting to get a search warrant. What's the protocol?
The search warrant gives you authorization to enter the house. So, and to search the house, more or less. So when you arrive on scene, normally as you're entering, the guns are drawn, you don't know what's in there, you don't know about animals, you don't know anything like that. You go in, you clear the house, make sure all occupants are either taken out or preserved in an area with other people, and then you, from that point, you hold the house and you preserve it. Normally, I make sure nobody's in there, and then we leave and have somebody watch that house. But not leave the area, we stay in the area until the search warrant is done by someone else.
Okay. When you were instructed to go to the house and do this, what did you have knowledge of regarding the shooter, his parents, what led up to it? What was your knowledge at that point?
I had knowledge of the shooter's name. I had knowledge that high school students were killed and injured, and that was pretty much about it.
Okay,
At that point.
thank you. Did you have any knowledge about who else lived in the house?
No.
Okay, so you knew almost nothing. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
I knew nothing when I went to the house.
Okay. When you arrived on scene, what did you observe?
I observed a male out walking in an area by it was like an awning, and then I observed a female coming out onto the porch.
All right, do you see that, at some point, did you learn that female's name?
Yes,
What was her name?
Jennifer Crumbley.
Do you see her in the courtroom today?
I do.
Can you describe something she's wearing?
She has on a tan sports coat.
May the record reflect he's properly identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
Okay. What did you do when you drove up to the house?
I drove up to the house. I put on a vest, and we lined up at the door and we went in.
Talk to me about why you put on a vest.
This is an active shooter scenario. This is I'm protecting myself with my vest. I don't know what I'm walking into.
Okay. And when you say we, who else was with you at the time?
It was McPherson, Detective Stoyak, and Detective Steele.
All right, did anyone have their guns drawn?
Yes,
Who?
I did, and I'm almost positive everybody else did.
Why are you positive of that?
That's normal.
When you say normal, what do you mean? Is
I
that
mean-
protocol, or is that, because I think for a lot of us, that's not normal. So I'm trying to get you to make the jury understand why you would do something like that.
Well, like I explained, we didn't know what we were going into, so we were just making sure we were protecting ourselves.
Is that something you do frequently when you approach a house to execute a search warrant or to clear the house?
Yes.
Okay. What did you do next?
We cleared the house, and at that point, we came back outside.
At that point, did you know whether or not the defendant and her husband had been at a substation, or did you know anything about any statement they've made?
No.
Okay. Did you know that if they had seen their son or not?
No.
Okay. So what did you do with or ask the defendant to do, if anything?
Can you rephrase?
Yes. At some point, you had an opportunity to interact with the defendant, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury how that happened?
She was seated in the back of a patrol car in front of the house.
Whose patrol car?
Weingart's.
Okay. And at some point, was she in the back of another patrol car?
I never saw her in the back of another patrol car.
Okay.
Deputy Zajac was also on scene in a marked car.
Okay. So what was the first interaction you had with her?
When she was in the back of Deputy is it Weingart's? I believe it's Weingart's, yeah.
Okay. And what did you do, if anything?
I advised her she wasn't in custody, and I originally jumped in the driver's seat, but then I walked around to the back seat and I opened her door.
Why did you do that?
She's not in custody. I just wanted to have a conversation with her.
Okay. Did you leave the door open or closed?
I opened it.
Okay. Did she express a preference about whether it was open or closed?
She liked it open.
All right. This conversation takes place for about 49 minutes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Were you talking the entire time?
No.
What else were you doing while you were talking with her? Were you doing anything else? Were there breaks in that conversation?
There may have been breaks near the end of it where I was looking for further instruction.
Okay, were you always standing right beside the car?
No.
Okay, and did she have any requests?
A cigarette or her phone.
Did you accommodate those?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Your Honor, I'm going to play what's been marked as People's Proposed 342. It's the in-car video that Sergeant Peski just introduced.
Your Honor, I have no objection.
Okay, 342 is admitted.
I do have a really quick question if we can approach very, very, very quickly.
Hold on, we're not on bench. Sorry. This is not. Okay.
So I do want to just put on the record that while this is a lengthy video, it is 49 minutes, it's a critical, we believe, and so I just am asking for the jurors' patience and viewing it.
There might be some boring parts, is that what you're saying?
I don't
Some
believe,
lulls,
I do
some
not believe
lulls.
there are any boring parts, but
Lulls.
that's me.
Lulls.
I think even the reason for the entire video is even during the period where there's absolutely no conversation, it's an opportunity to view and observe the defendant. So I just want to put on the record why I'm playing the whole thing.
And Your Honor, we have no objection. We stipulate to the exhibit.
Well, in the interest of completion too, it's good to play the whole thing, so.
Okay. All right.
We're just down at the substation.
We'll get, we'll get you. What?
Sergeant Peski, do you know about what time this starts? I mean, actually not about what time, do you know what time that she gets in the car?
Not exactly. I'm sorry, I was.
Okay, that's okay. So what, can you tell us what the time says?
It's 14:57 and right now.
I mean, I know my son was the one that shot the school, so I'm not quite sure like why they're back to the cop car.
Well, because right now, all I know is we're detaining you until investigators can get things figured
Is
out.
there like some air back here?
Yep. That's what I was packing up to do.
I left the stove on.
I think they got shut off.
take a little time.
I don't know if I can tell you that. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
I'm a detective for Oakland County. So, what's your date of birth?
4/1/78.
Were you handcuffed when they brought you out of the house?
Not, well, they handcuffed me at the front door.
Okay. Well, so, being that, hold on. Jennifer, has anybody told you what's going on?
I was at the substation and I saw my son and answered questions and I know what he did.
Okay. Alright, so you understand, you're not in custody, you're just, right now, we need to check your house for evidence.
That's fine.
Okay, would you be willing to sign a form? For us to check, we can go through your house. Okay. Is his room far in the back? Ethan, is your son's name Ethan?
Yeah.
Okay. Is his room all the way in the back?
No, he's got, there are two pits on either side of that.
So he has two bedrooms?
Yeah, because his bedroom got so out of control, he moved to the guest room and I got out of control and I haven't got a chance to do it yet.
Whose room is all the way in the back?
That was mine. Me and my husband,
Okay. What's your name?
James.
Is that Ethan's dad?
Yeah.
Biological?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he own a firearm?
Yes.
Ethan does?
No,
James?
James does.
Did you see that box that was on your bed in the back bedroom?
I haven't had a chance to go back for it.
Okay. What's a good phone number for you?
248-760-7502.
Did Ethan have a phone?
He did.
What's that?
It's stored in my phone. I don't know if I had my phone, but the bumper of that police vehicle, I can get it.
Okay. And your husband's name is James?
Yes.
James, same last?
Yes.
Who's Hazel?
Who?
Hazel? No? Okay. Okay. I mean, how's your son this morning?
I left work early and James said, we got in a fight last night, I looked at his grades and they were bad. And I got onto him and took a step away from him, and then this morning on the way to school, James said he seemed fine, he apologized, and it was normal, there was nothing abnormal. Nothing,
Okay.
nothing.
He left just like normal? Did he walk?
No, James drove him to school.
Oh, okay. All right. Did James hear?
He's in back of one of your guys' stuff there.
When did you get home from work?
The minute he told me there was an active shooter at Oxford High School and we couldn't get a hold of Ethan, I left. What time it was like, I don't know what time it is right now.
Okay.
We
So,
went right to the substation.
all right, so you were gone this morning before Ethan left for school?
Yeah.
And James took him. What time did you leave?
Well, wait a minute. Jane took him first. I woke up late this morning. I left after.
Okay, were you sleeping in the bed?
Was I sleeping in the back bedroom?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I sleep. That's where I woke up.
Right, but, so I guess it's kind of hard for me to ask you because there's a gun box on your bed.
Yeah, that's probably when we found the active shooter. We were at school early this morning because the counselor found some drawings on the paper and said it didn't seem a concern to stay at school. And then we found the active shooter. James came home and he opened the gun box, said the gun was gone, and we had the bullets hidden in two separate spots, and the bullets were gone, and instantly it was like, oh shit.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. And
Okay,
I drove you straight, because we called Logan County and told them what we thought, and they called us down to the substation. That's where we were.
so,
We just got back from there.
so you guys noticed the gun was missing this morning?
No,
No.
no.
So, I guess explain it to me again.
Didn't know it until we heard there was an active shooter.
Okay,
And we were just at the counter office because Ethan was drawing some weird images on some paper. And then all of a sudden there was an active shooter and James flew home and he's like, I had the gun hidden and I told him where I hid the bullets and they were both missing. So sometime, I don't know.
well, it had to be sometime today, because did you sleep in that back bed?
Yeah.
So,
And I woke up in there and there was nothing abnormal.
right, and if the box wasn't on your bed, did you make your bed?
No.
Okay, so if the box is on your bed, so what I'm just trying to get a time stamp on it instead of picked up the gun.
I don't think he could have. Not this morning.
Unless, do you think, is it possible that James maybe, like, checked the box for the handgun and put it on the bed?
Well, yeah, I told you. Yeah, after we
I
found
guess
out.
that's the part that I was.
Yeah, when we after we heard there was an active shooter and after we talked to the counselor at the school today, he came here during this whole time this was going on.
Mhm.
And that's when he noticed the gun was gone. That's when he called you guys.
Okay. What kind of images was he drawing?
And my phone, I didn't look at that closely because
Can you grab a phone?
it's on the bumper of that.
It's on the bumper of that car. When are they?
Well, now that when I was at the substation, I looked at them more closely, they're a little disturbing. Well, they're very disturbing. They look like he just fucking did it.
Okay.
Sorry.
No.
I don't
I
even know what the hell I'm thinking. I'm kind of in shock. Like, he's never been in trouble. He's never done anything. Like, he's never done anything wrong. He's a good kid.
Right. Well, we are too, and I mean, this is kind of like additional.
This is fucked up.
Yeah. So,
Like, my son just ruined his life. I'll never see him again. Like, what the fuck?
right. How old is he?
15.
I'm sorry.
We're not bad people.
No, I wouldn't. The green one?
Yep.
Well, what time do you think you were up at the school today to see the counselor? Do you know what counselor it was?
Hopkins.
Hopkins?
And now that I look at him closely, and this was just, we literally left the school. I went back to work and then this started happening.
I'm gonna take a picture of this, okay? when you talked to him today at with the county?
He said he was sorry that we lost a dog. His best friend got sent to an OCD facility treatment thing, and my mother-in-law passed away, and he said he's dealing with a lot of stress. He just put thoughts on paper. It's the first time we've ever seen anything like this, or he's ever been
You've
caught
never
up.
seen anything like this before?
No, and he's never like, I don't know.
Do you know that he knows how to like handle a firearm?
Yeah, because we take him to the training gun range.
Okay, so he, I mean, you teach him how to
That's
be
our,
responsible.
that's our hobby, that we go to gun range, and that's what we do.
Is that the only gun you have in the house?
Well, the one, aside from the one that he took to school, yes, there's like BB guns, but
There's BB guns, and then I think it was a 45 caliber that was at the school.
that was a 9mm.
The 9,
It should have been.
but you don't have it, like,
There's,
what is it, block?
no, it's a SIG or something,
Okay, the SIG.
which we just got it on Sunday. Friday. We took him to the gun range, so we can,
Oh, you just bought it?
yeah, I mean, we've had another one for a long time.
Okay.
What's the other one?
It's my husband knows, I don't know. It's a 22.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then they went up and we,
Has he been, like, I mean, talking to you about it? I mean, so you had bad grades, but I
I
mean.
mean, they weren't horrible, we just haven't noticed his geometry got to an E. I mean, I'm not a math person, I just told him to get a D minus, so I'm happy.
Right.
And then, you know, I looked on his power school last night and I saw an E and I said, third grade, get walked back up, there's no gun range, there's no phone, there's no nothing, those are two trigger points. And then he was mad last night, this morning he seemed fine.
Okay.
It's not the first time he's been in trouble for grades.
Right. Okay.
I mean, it's like well, he was a good kid.
Right.
Like, he just doesn't do anything. He like stays at the house, and I don't know, he loves the animals, and I never would have.
Well, I'm not, I mean, this is I don't think he's a bad kid. I think he might have been upset about something today. Well,
I mean,
I'm not
I
trying to,
never even, like, even not even have any mental issues, like, he's never exerted any type of anger, he's never exerted anything, like, he's just like one of those mellow, laid back kids, and we've always had a open, and he'll talk about stuff, like, I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get what happened.
Okay. Right. Well, I mean, like you said, what grade was he in there?
They're not gonna release his name on the news, are they?
This probably, it won't be for a while, but, I mean, this is, I'm sure your neighbors are already talking.
Right, I know.
You know, I mean,
And the fact that I got handcuffed outside my front door, that was great.
yeah. Crumbley. You guys own or?
But I think they always,
And then there's 7 injured. I believe one of them was a teacher. Do you know which teacher he was having? Like, do you know who he was having a problem with? Well, I mean, like his grades.
Taylor, she offered you, they don't complain about it. So like, what was like, what, and teacher last year, I didn't remember her name.
Was it the same school even?
Yeah.
Jennifer. If I could, maybe when you take a second, why don't you take a second? Do you ever complain about anybody in school? Being bullied?
I asked him for everybody's back to school, he said, yeah.
Did he have friends?
Yeah, but not a lot. The one best friend he had was sent a Halloween to an OCD treatment facility in Wisconsin I was believing that was like his best friend. And so he didn't really have anybody outside of that, so I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
okay. You can sign this for your house. Just gonna need to go in, and I would like to get that gun box. See if any other weapons are missing.
My husband knows what's going on.
Does he? Okay.
I have a cigarette.
We have had one.
No, my husband's done.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get that.
And maybe a jacket.
Yes.
Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll this one up.
No, I don't want the idiot possible. Okay. I just really want a cigarette. Okay. And I don't even really smoke.
Just a second.
I would just wanted to relay something for you one, because then we're gonna do a letter check for, Board clear, we're coming back to the main lobby. Copy, you get your, people, there, Roger. You going up? Yeah. Stay right there. If anybody.
I didn't want to smoke your car.
No, go ahead, actually, just have.
Yeah, right there.
Yep. He's gonna.
No, I just keep up, just keep it up.
I'm gonna go get him back and I have to do it. So, I'll either open.
Anytime. Terrible. I can't talk here about, anyway, it's on the national news. Yeah. I'll shoot you down.
I'm sorry?
No, I'll talk to you later.
Rachel, can you repeat that?
Hey, Mom. I am gonna tell her so I'm open. More keys, we could keys, I have leaving out. I mean, I'm seeing for on the road on 11
And we're gonna want to kind of target celebrate that on heat control, not that too, just because we have our first two columns.
That's a big difference, you got my control. I don't want to be my, there was a pass, so your, you for you, I'm gonna take it out, and then I'll let it run for those.
Agree with that, thank you.
That's 100.
Original power 1411, 1412.
113, I thought it was.
You want to stop them?
Perimeter guard is 1521. The fire department is gonna be coming in with a large vehicle. They're gonna come in off Lee Road where 411 posted, and they're gonna come in where 1521 is posted. Let them through at 920 come through.
I'm good.
Sorry, I didn't smell.
Oh, no. It's all good.
You know, my biggest fear was that he was gonna turn the gun on himself.
And you guys check out, personal card and smart card. Just to the main entrance, we get those moving for the individual, to come in.
for a little bit. You look now, guys, you're paying back now, which, yeah, and there's no way to get out. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. So we're just, this is a house around here that plays an interest. So. Yep. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yep. Thank you, have a good day. Is actually been activated for the other later, but there is a notification that it's working. Can you call her the on squad, central line, her, MFP, Rob, and Merck. I am giving myself on the video.
Who's our committed on Main Street here?
No, here.
Ten one, I have residents at 135. You will be let them get down there.
Yeah, that's fine, just make sure you can. General radio, you can continue that.
Paper, sir, the number is 21-249-546, repeating 249-546.
Right.
You guys are clear, you can come.
Thank you.
Look it back there.
Right. Who's over there, James, for the lover? Yeah, give me a few minutes, I'll get back to you. Is it? Good, good.
Team. Are you on, Oxford and East Street?
So, This might take a little while. But what I'm gonna do, I didn't realize you'd already talked to a sergeant earlier. So with all the chaos going on, there's a little bit of a misunderstanding on everybody's part. So what I'm gonna do is, I can't technically let you go back in the house because they wanna do a search warrant. So what I can do is if you guys wanna go get a cup of coffee, go get a drink, leave, Sergeant Brian said he will call you as soon as the search warrant is done on your house. But I can't let you go back in right now. So I don't know, that's what Detective Stoyak also told your husband. I don't know, if you have your car keys? No? Good, you don't keep guns in the car? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, do you wanna think about it for a second, or wait until your husband, or, I mean, what do you?
I need to get my car keys, I mean, I don't know, I mean, the whole fucking neighborhood probably thinks like we're monsters and
That's why I'm gonna try to get you out of here instead of just having you sit up here.
yeah, let me go.
Is that okay? Alright, so,
Give us just a minute.
I just, anyway,
a jacket,
I
yeah,
don't care about Jack, I got hoodies in my car, I need like a charger from batteries on.
okay.
You have a charger in the car.
I don't know if I took it in with me or not, it'd be plugged in if I didn't. Okay.
We'll just have a guy who'll go in with you to make sure that everything's cool, and then, Sergeant Brown will call you in the house.
And just make sure the one cat, there's two cats, they don't get out.
I didn't see it.
Well, you're not gonna see one, one's kind of a kitten, and that's my son's cat.
Okay.
It's the one being asked me to take care of it. But
Okay,
I'm not gonna be seeing him. I don't even know.
well, he's at Children's Village, so we'll.
Yeah,
I know, but.
he's responsible for families work like there,
Yeah.
and that ultimately looks back on us, because here we are.
Yeah, I didn't know that you had asked for an attorney either.
Yeah,
Did you want an attorney just for your son, or?
I just don't, I work for a company that has attorneys, and was there when I washed out, and he said, don't talk to anybody without attorney present, so we talked to him, I was there, but I don't even know, I don't, this is something you.
Alright, yeah, why don't you come out and I'm gonna let you make the decision.
Yeah, I did.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ross?
The defense has no questions.
All right, thank you, Sergeant. Sergeant?
Yes.
You may step down.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Who's next witness?
Judge, I think we can get through one more witness, but we do need to address a matter outside the presence of the jury first.
Okay. I'm gonna give you 5 to 10 minute break. We're gonna see how, I guess there's an issue.
All rise for the jury. Oh, yeah, thank you.
All right, you may be seated.
Judge, we have Robert Gatalis here from the crime lab.
Robert Catalis?
Yes. So it's my understanding the defense counsel objecting to exhibits 13 and 22. So we need to have a ruling on those. I would ask that the court instruct the media not to film those two photographs because it does have imaging of a minor.
Okay.
So we could go through it on the screen, but I don't want to broadcast.
They've been very
Robert F. Kotelis Jr., ROBERTKOTELES.
Go ahead, Peski.
Thank you. Sir, how are you employed?
Employed by the Oakland County Sheriff's Office Forensic Laboratory.
And how long have you been there?
I'm in my 17th year.
Okay. In total, how long have you been with the Oakland County Sheriff's Office?
In my 17th year, so all
Total
those.
17 years.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Tell us, please, what is your specific title with the Sheriff's Office Forensic Laboratory?
I'm a forensic laboratory investigator leader. That's my HR name, if you will, but I'm the crime scene supervisor and the laser print supervisor.
Okay. When you say crime scene supervisor, what does that mean?
I have a team of 6 people that are on my team, and I supervise those 6 when it comes to any crime scenes that needs processing. Sometimes they may happen during the day. I would say that's usually my night job because I do laser prints during the day. But I lead that team to do crime scene investigations when called upon.
Now tell us, please, what's your background?
I have a forensic science degree from Michigan State University.
Okay. Now, how often would you say that you get called out to do a crime scene analysis?
It depends on what year it was or what time frame of my career. Currently, I'd probably say we average about 2 crime scenes a month. We have to keep in mind that we only do major crime scenes. I have other teams that I send out to do I would say, lesser crimes that are already on the road. So as far as the major crime scenes, we probably do 2 to 3 a month.
Okay, when you say major crime scenes, what exactly does that mean?
Typically, they're going to be homicides or officer-involved shootings or criminal sexual conduct cases.
I'd like to direct your attention now to November the 30th of 2021. Do you recall that day?
Yes, I do.
Okay, were you working that day?
Yes, I was.
In what capacity were you working then?
I was actually in the lab working on my latent print work.
12:51 in the afternoon, November the 30th. Do you recall what happened?
Yes, I do.
All right. And were you notified of the attack at the Oxford High School?
Yes, I received notification at 1:15 p.m. on that day to respond to the school.
Okay. What was your purpose for responding to the school?
I was the on-call crime scene investigator for that day. So it was me to lead my team up to the Oxford High School for crime scene processing.
You said your team, is that you and the 6 individuals?
Yes, and at that time there was 8. I had recruited a biologist to assist us and also a laboratory technician.
Okay, so what sort of specialties are these individuals involved in that are on your crime scene team?
They're members of our forensic laboratory in the firearms unit and the latent print unit, along with the biology unit.
So is it fair to say then you were called to the Oxford High School to process the scene?
That is correct.
What's the first thing you do when you arrive on scene to process?
Well, we were pretty much on standby because it was still an active scene. They were still getting intel, meaning my cohorts of the sheriff's office, of what had happened in there, clearing rooms, clearing the entire building. I didn't actually get in the building. I shouldn't say. I got in the building while it was still daylight to collect a firearm that was asked upon me. But as far as crime scene processing, it was well into the night when I actually got to walk through the scene to see what I was dealing with.
Okay, now the firearm, that would have been the 6-hour 9mm?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, I believe we have a stipulation. I'm just going to, for the record, that's Exhibit 403, Forensic Laboratory Report, request number 6, confirming that was in fact the murder weapon from November the 30th.
No objection. Yes.
Is it previously noted?
Not previously noted.
That's stipulated too,
Yes,
correct?
that's 403.
403?
Okay, so sir, after you went inside the school to collect the firearm, what happened next?
Pretty much sat in my vehicle waiting on the AOK to go into the school, meaning that it was safe for us to go in and process the crime scene.
Okay, so once you're given that green light, what do you do first?
I met with Sergeant Zadrowski, and we went through, there was me and one other individual, Rachel Grace, and members of the Special Investigation Unit that went through the crime scene itself. to see what kind of evidence and what we were looking at within the crime scene.
Okay, so would you call this sort of initial walkthrough?
That would be a good terminology.
Okay, so once you do the initial walkthrough, what's your process then?
To go and report back to my team, to construct that team of what kind of services I needed from each one of them, kind of delegated out each of their jobs they needed to do, and the chronological order that we were going to complete those tasks.
Okay, so what was your decision then on that day?
As far as for each person,
Well, you walked through the crime scene, you had a feel for what you were looking at as far as crime scene process. So what steps did you take next?
after the initial walkthrough, photographs were taken. After photographs were taken, then what we have, what we call a 3D scanner. So it takes a 3D scan of the crime scene itself to document exactly where items of evidence and the bodies were located within the scene.
Okay, so sir, why is it important to you as a professional in this subset of law enforcement to document things as you see them?
So that we can keep the integrity of where they were located when I actually saw them at that time.
Okay. So I'm going to walk through just a small portion of the photographs with you. In some of these photographs, we'll see yellow numbers or yellow placards on the ground with numbers. What are those?
They signify pieces of evidence that were found within the crime scene.
Okay. And when you process a crime scene, do you write a report afterwards?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And did you in this particular case?
Yes, I did.
May I approach witness? Sure. Just confirm, sir, this is People's Proposal 11. Confirm that it is in fact the report that you have authored in this particular case.
Yes, it is.
Okay. People move to submit 11.
No objection.
11's admitted.
And sir, when is it that you write this report?
At a later date, after I had cleared the crime scene, after all the documentation was done, had the crime scene, and then back at the laboratory, and then taking my notes and then constructing a formal report at that time.
Okay. And why do you do so? Why is it important to do so?
To kind of paint a picture of what I saw that day so that other people can hear and see what I experienced and saw that day.
And you mentioned photographs are taken and the evidence placards are put on the ground next to pieces of evidence. Do you also draw a sketch?
Yes, a sketch was not prepared, but what we used was a schematic blueprint of the school because of the vast nature of the school. Trying to get several rooms within one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper was virtually impossible. So we used the schematic to designate where the items of evidence were found within that school.
Okay, sir. I'm going to direct your attention to the screen here. This is People's 10. I don't believe there's an objection to the admission of this exhibit.
No objection.
This wasn't admitted already?
Not yet, Judge.
Okay.
This is People's
You have
10.
no objection?
No objection.
10 is admitted.
Okay, so this is the blueprint, at least the portion of the 200 hallway where the shooting occurred. Is that right?
Yes, it's the entire school, the lower level there, but you can see the blue markings, our pen marks, that were signifying the items of evidence that were found within this crime scene.
So these pen marks, these are actually your pen marks, your notations.
Not me personally, some of them are, but I worked with Rob Charlton, who was he took measurements and then he prepared the schematic along with me of where the items of evidence were found outside the classrooms.
Okay, fair enough. Now, Oxford High School has numbered hallways and each classroom has a number associated to it. Would that be correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And in the course of your reconstruction of this crime scene, were you able to reconstruct the path that the shooter took during the shooting?
Yes, I was.
Okay. So first, this is still People's 10. This is a zoomed in portion. This depicts the 200 hallway, and we see rooms 258 and 256 with a bathroom adjacent to 258. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. So tell us, sir, why is this portion of the 200 hallway significant to you as a crime scene investigator?
There were 2 victims that were found between rooms 258 and 256, along with a vast number of pieces of evidence.
Okay. And then this is still People's 10. This is just a zoomed in portion of the remainder of the 200 hallway after the hallway turns. And I take it that pieces of evidence were recovered in this hallway as well?
That is correct, along with one of the other additional victims was found in a patrol car that was found just outside of the school.
Okay. Well, sir, were you able to tell, or did you subsequently find out where the shooter was directly before he began the shooting?
Yes, I was given information that he was in the bathroom found just west of 258 in the 200 wing.
So that would be the bathroom at the top of the screen there?
Yes, if you can see the numbers, it's by 6 and 7 depicted at the top of the zoomed in portion of the photograph.
I'm going to show you People's 12. I don't believe there's an objection to this.
No objection.
12 is admitted.
And sir, what do we see here in this photograph?
This is the inside of the bathroom, inside of one of the stalls of the bathroom we're talking about, near 258, where a backpack, electronic devices, a journal, I believe there's a Gatorade bottle, amongst other miscellaneous items.
It was later confirmed that these were the belongings of the shooter in this case.
That is correct.
Okay. Judge, the next photograph is Exhibit 13. I asked the court, instructed me not to film.
I'm going to request that the media not film this picture.
Audio too?
I don't think that, there's not a problem with audio. is there? No, just video, please. And still, no still or audio, video, okay? Thank you.
Now, of course, of your crime scene investigation, the photographs, you've seen these photographs before, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. And these photographs fairly depict the path that the shooter took during the attack on Oxford High School?
That is correct.
Okay. So this is the bathroom adjacent to 258. People's 13, what are we looking at here?
This is a photograph taken just outside of that bathroom, showing down the hallway where 258 and 256 would be found on the left-hand side of this photograph. And you can start to see the evidence placards on the right-hand side, with one of the victims lying on the ground on the right-hand side of the photograph.
Okay, so for the record, that's Hannah St. Juliana, and she's on the ground to the right side of the hallway, is that right?
That is correct.
And further up in the photograph, there's another victim, and that's Madison Baldwin.
That is correct.
Now, sir, tell us please what you recovered of evidentiary value in crime scene analysis in this portion of the 200 hallway.
They're what we call fired cartridge cases, and also fired bullets. So the fired cartridge cases will hold the actual unfired bullet in a semi-automatic weapon. The fired cartridge case is ejected out of the side of the weapon, which is typically out of the right side of the weapon. The bullet is expelled out of the barrel or the end of the weapon in the direction where that firearm was pointed.
So sometimes I refer to them as shell casings. Is that an appropriate term, or should I not use that?
I think it can be used interchangeably, a fired shell casing or a fired cartridge case.
Okay. And how many of those fired shell casings did you recover in this portion of the 200 hallway?
There were 14.
So every time that someone pulls the trigger of a loaded semi-automatic weapon, it ejects a fired shell casing?
That is correct.
So with 14 fired shell casings in this portion of the hallway, what does that indicate to you as the number of shots fired?
That there would have been 14 within this area.
This is Exhibit 14. This is still a portion of the 200 hallway before it turns, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. And what do we see here in the screen?
You can see a few more of the yellow placards that are indicating the evidence that was found in that area before we get to the turn, heading back away from 258 and 256.
Okay, so this is Exhibit 15. Is this continuing down the path? So we saw on the map that the 200 hallway turns right outside 256.
That is correct, and it would move to the left, or I believe it's north at that point in time.
Okay, so is this picture then oriented down the long hallway of 200?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and what do we see here?
Once again, it's fired. There's evidence that's marked by the yellow placards indicating the fired cartridge cases and fired bullets, along with a firearm magazine or a gun magazine that was located in this area of the hallway.
Okay. This is Exhibit 16. Now I'm going to direct you specifically to placard 35 there. the lower middle portion of the screen, you mentioned a magazine. What is that?
So a semi-automatic weapon, a gun magazine will hold those cartridges or the fire cartridge cases and bullets that are put together in typically the bottom of the weapon. And that loads the gun to be chambered, to have a round chamber to actually use that weapon.
Okay. Now, how many fired shell casings did you recover from the long portion here of the 200 hallway?
There were 18 fire cartridge cases.
Now, did you also uncover evidence that the shooter fired into classrooms as well?
Yes, I did.
This is exhibit 17. This is a picture of what?
This is from the outside of room 247. And if you see it's in the middle of the picture, there's a pink rod we call trajectory rod. And that is to indicate where the shot was fired from and into. So this shot was fired from the exterior of 247 to the interior of room 247.
Okay. This is People's 18. What are we looking at here?
Another photograph from the outside of this is room 244. Once again, you can see a pink trajectory rod indicating that this bullet had traveled through the glass along with the 244 placard of this classroom 244.
If not already, you moved them at 17, 16, 17, 18, Judge.
No objection.
16 and 17 and 18 are admitted.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, I'm not sure if 14 and 15 were, but I have no objection.
Thank you.
14 and 15 are admitted.
This is People's 8. This has already been admitted. This is room 224, and Molly Darnell had already testified in this trial that this was the classroom she was in. But what do we see in this photograph here?
Once again, a photograph taken from the outside of room 224. And in this picture, you can see that there are 3 trajectory rods that were into the door of this room, indicating that the bullets were fired from outside of the classroom to the inside.
Okay. And this is People's 6, again, already admitted. This is the same classroom, 224. What do we see in this particular photograph?
On the left-hand side, you can see it's the inside of the door with the same 3 trajectory rods just from the inside. And then in the back of the room, there is what we call a perforation in the window. So a bullet more than likely traveled through that window, perforated the window, and we were never able to locate that bullet. But that was one of them.
What about the placard right here in the middle?
There is a fired bullet that was found in the bookcase that was found lodged in one of the books on that bookcase.
Okay, and then we see this defect in the file cabinet here.
That is correct. That would be a ricochet or a defect that was more than likely caused by a firearms projectile or a fired bullet.
This is People's 19. Sir, do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
And what is this photograph depict?
This is a photograph of the inside of, from the outside of room 223. But you can see that there is a ricochet or a defect that's found in the door. And this is what we call a bullet that was in flight and it was tumbling. And it had come into contact with something else because it's not a circular pattern like we saw in the other ones.
Okay, people move to admit 19.
No objection.
19 is admitted.
And this is exhibit 20. This is room 220. What do we see here?
Once again, a photograph taken from the outside of the classroom 220. You can see that there's one trajectory rod in the door of the room.
This is exhibit 21. People move to admit 20.
No objection.
20 is admitted.
And this is People's 21. What do we see here, sir?
Photograph taken from the outside of room 215. And you can see there's the trajectory rods. They happen to be orange in color in this time. Into the window found right below the number 215, showing the path of travel of the bullets that were fired into that classroom.
Okay, so the fact that they're orange instead of pink, does that have any significance?
No, we just ran out of pink.
Judge, I'd ask the court to instruct the camera not to film the next photograph.
Yeah, we're going to be putting exhibit number 22 on the screen. I'm going to ask that it not be videotaped and also that there not be any still pictures taken. All right? Is it off right now? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. People move to admit 21.
Anyone's admitted?
Okay. This is People's 22, sir. This has already been admitted. What are we looking at here?
The photograph taken from the outside of a bathroom that was found across from room 231, classroom 231. In this photograph, you can see that there is a large amount of blood, along with a backpack on the floor that's found just inside of the bathroom, along with some other evidence that was marked. I believe it's a cartridge that was found outside of the bathroom that was marked 49.
And sir, this is the bathroom where Justin Schilling was killed?
That is correct.
This is People's 23. What do we see here?
22 was previously admitted.
Thank you, Judge.
This is a photograph of the firearm that was collected by the deputies on scene.
And may I approach the witness? This has already been admitted as 403. Sir, just to confirm, that's the firearm that you were called into the school to recover and to take back to the Oakland County Forensic Laboratory? The report I've handed is authored by Mr. Charlton.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yep, I just wanted to make sure, yeah. So yeah, it looks like there was two fire bullets that were asked to be compared against the firearm.
Okay, and according to that report, the firearm depicted here in People's 23 was the firearm used in the Oxford High School attack November the 30th, 2021?
That is correct.
Okay. Sir, in your crime scene processing of the Oxford High School, how many times was that gun shot inside the high school?
32 times.
Your Honor, I just want to make sure 32 is, or I'm sorry, 23 is admitted.
Yeah, 23,
I have no objection to it.
okay. It has to be admitted, that's shown, right? 23 is admitted,
23 is admitted?
yes.
Thank you, Judge. I have nothing further.
You have nothing further?
Yes, Judge, thank you.
Cross?
We have no questions, thank you.
All right, you may step down,
Thank you.
you're excused. All right, I'm going to release you until 8:30 tomorrow morning. It's not supposed to snow, is it? I think we're moving pretty well. So I'll see you at 8:30 in the morning. Any questions about the schedule? Everybody okay? Okay, we'll see you at 8:30. Everybody stay healthy and have a good evening.
All rise for the jury.
Be seated. Anybody, anything?
I think so, Judge.
Your Honor, I would just like to ask again the prosecutor tonight, let me know who they're calling tomorrow. And I'm also asking if they are going to be done before the end of the week or by the end of the week, only because I have witnesses subpoenaed. I need to give them some idea. I have one witness who would need an interpreter that I've arranged, and so I want to make sure.
Language, DAP, what's the,
Language.
okay, did we help you with that?
No, I just did it privately through an agency.
Oh, okay,
But I need to be able to coordinate to get the interpreter here.
okay.
Judge, can we approach, please?
Okay, can I have the deputies bring her downstairs, because now I'm gonna release the jury. I wanna do one or the other. Is this something that we need to make record of?
No.
With her?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so can you take her down? They're holding the door, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was it, do you want